Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching, and I am joined by Dan the Man today.
Hello.
Today is Thursday. It's Christmas Eve. Day, yes. Christmas Eve day. Tomorrow is Christmas, obviously.
All day.
All day. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate.
Happy Ramahana Kwanzaa, which is the way I refer to.
He likes to hit all the holidays in one word.
Yes.
So
I don't brag very often, but I will say I'm a trendsetter because I have several people that have converted over to referring to Ramahana Kwanzaa. Those of them who can remember how to pronounce it.
It's kind of hard to remember how to pronounce it, though.
It is. I have to help them a little bit.
Rana.
You already messed up.
Rama. Hana. Kwanzaa, right?
RAHANNAQUNSMAS.
I don't think you spell it the same way every time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. Spell it again.
Ditto.
So anyway, oops, that went on the floor. Welcome. How are you? We're having a day today. It's not quite gone as smoothly as what we had hoped. Dan can't find the picture of his project, so we're going to have to use a picture on my phone.
Stole it.
I didn't steal it. I didn't have it. No, your dog probably ate it.
I looked at it last night.
Your dog probably ate it. And now, hold please. Okay, that is my cinnamon rolls, the timer for the cinnamon rolls that were supposed to be for breakfast this morning. It is now 12:29 in the afternoon. And those were supposed to be for breakfast, and I forgot to take care of them last night before I went to bed. So,
fortunately, my forethought kicked in, and I picked up 4 little cinnamon rolls for breakfast for me, for the most part, because she doesn't eat anything but good cinnamon rolls. But when I got home, she goes, "What'd you buy those for?" I don't know. I thought I'd have them for breakfast. Well, I just put these in the oven. I said, "Okay," but that I would still be waiting for breakfast at 11.
You would at 12:30. Yes. So anyway, we were talking about his missing piece of his chart.
Don't narc on my dog.
I'm gonna narc on your dog because
She's just a flower.
I came home from work.
She's a little flower. She doesn't do these things.
I came home from work the other day to find this.
Turn it around so they can
I don't want them to see the pattern.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Yes. It was folded up, like that. It perfect little tiny little bites all the way across the top, which reminds me of that movie with Tom Hanks in it where he's got the little corn and he's doing the little thing. Yeah, I think that's what his dog was doing with my chart.
I think it's fleas.
It's not fleas. We do not have fleas that I'm aware of. So anyway, that's probably what happened to it, because you don't put your stuff away at night. She probably got hungry and ate it.
I doubt it. No remnants. Usually she leaves remnants.
Remember not to jiggle the table. They don't like it when the camera jiggles. Let's see. What else can we tell you? So anyway, the cinnamon rolls didn't go quite like they were supposed to. He couldn't find his chart. I can't find a magazine for one of mine. Yeah, it's just not going as smoothly as it could have been today. But it's all good. We're gonna get this video done. I'm hoping at the end of it I can attach the video of the village, because I've been promising that. Otherwise, I'll try and do it as a separate video. And I have a video. Well, it was a slideshow that I converted to a video, and I'm of the village as it used to be before we had to take it down. So it would be
Prior to its apex, though.
Yeah, there was a year after this was this one that I'm going to show you, hopefully. There was another year after that where we added kind of the valley.
About a third. more of the
and
village.
I couldn't find that year's worth of pictures. So this is actually the 2011 pictures. The first video will be what we put up this year, which is just a little teeny tiny portion of the village. But I'll put it at the end because I know not everyone wants to see it. It's going to be maybe about 10, 12 minutes long. Let's see, we went on an adventure last weekend for the village. I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and there was an advertisement. Someone had some village pieces for sale, and they had a paddle boat. We don't have a paddle boat in our village, so I suggested maybe we should go and get a paddle boat for the village. So we did. We went on an adventure. We got about, I don't know, how far down the road were we when I said, is this a smart idea? Maybe a mile down the road. And, I wasn't thinking COVID. I wasn't thinking, I've got this wad of cash in my pocket. I don't know who these people are.
It's not in the best part of town.
It wasn't in the best part of town. But we went anyway, and we ended up with a paddle boat and a few other things. So
and some nice people, too.
And they were very nice. They were an older couple. Their kids and grandkids are all grown up, and no one was interested in the village. And so they just made the tough decision to, Dan, you talk.
Okay.
That means they made the tough decision to
go ahead and get rid of it all, just taking up room. It wasn't a big house, and matter of fact, I had to duck about 2 foot down just to get underneath the vents and the HVAC piping in the basement. So they had it all laid out, and we went through it all. They were very patient with us, and actually fixed a couple pieces that were missing a power cord or didn't have all the pieces. They put it all together, and he was like little Santa back there sitting down just doing his thing to the buildings. And she kept throwing in things that if we want these, she'll just throw those in. And he threw in a whole farm scape full of building and all the animals and chickens and everything. So, and then she started throwing in, you want some trees? There's some trees. You always use trees in your village.
always.
If you look at villages online and they don't have trees, don't bother because they're lazy or they just don't get the concept. Got to do trees.
In Dan's world, you have to do landscaping, so.
Right. Lichen and moss.
So it turned out okay. We made it home safely, and now we have
didn't spend the whole wad, just half of the wad.
Yeah, didn't spend the whole wad. And we have ideas for how we want to incorporate that into the village. So
Yeah, because now we have to have a river.
we do. We have
Not
to have
just
a
have a
river.
little creek or stream like we've had. We have to have a river.
We have to because it's a
The
nice
river is going to have to be a foot wide going through.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. I think it should be at the back of the village, though, like along the. Should have the trees coming down, and then the river, and then the village on this side of the river.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm the idea person. He makes it come true, right?
Yep.
Yep. So that was our adventure. That's about the only adventure we've been on. In my previous one of the Chart of the Day videos, I had asked you to say prayers for Dan's father because he had COVID. We just heard right before this video that he has been taken to the hospital. Apparently had a rough night last night, coughing, having trouble breathing. So your continued prayers would be appreciated.
Yeah. Yep. He was all set to come down and deliver packages tomorrow. They live about 120 miles away. And I said, well, let's cross that bridge when we get to it, Dad. We'll see how you do. Because unfortunately, I said a lot of times there is a relapse at about this time. So I hope you don't have any of that. But looks like he did. Pretty severe. So we'll see how he does and go from there.
But we do appreciate your prayers. What else can we chat about? Anything? You got anything?
No.
Do you want to show them your finish? I don't have any finishes.
The stitching
But I
finish?
can show you his finish, or he can show you his finish. I'm going to hold this up.
Have they
behind
seen
it.
this at all before?
They have seen it,
Okay.
but not finished, I don't believe. If it was finished, I apologize.
Well, I don't know if you need that. It looks pretty good.
There. So this is a primitive hair picture. It's called Ye Old Winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Dan changed it to
The old.
Tavern. And then he's going to put it mounted on a piece of wood, kind of to make it look like an old sign that would hang outside of a tavern. And this is primitive hair snowflake fabric. So it's a 30 count, I think.
Yeah, because they really didn't give you an idea where to start, so that was a little tricky. Because I like to start in the middle of a project, so trying to figure out the best starting point and hope everything fell in there correctly, which it looks like it did pretty much. So,
Yep.
I picked up a sign at Hobby Lobby that I thought would work to save me a little bit of time from making the sign, and it's not working out that way. It's going to be a lot of work on the sign to get it to work because it has to be color has to be changed and it'll have to be retrofitted for the bracket. But I started on it out in the garage, but it's not really wood, it's fake wood.
It's that fake wood.
So we're going to have to faux kind of paint it to make it look like
Just start
wood.
from scratch.
Maybe.
Did you ruin the sign?
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
It was a cool sign. It had a ship on it, like a big old sailing
Yeah,
ship.
it looked like a blueprint, the
Yeah.
blue background with the white boat on
And
it.
even Adam thought he shouldn't mess with it, that it was too cool a picture to mess with. But apparently
I mess with it.
you messed with it. Okay, keep talking.
Okay.
Talk.
So yeah, I have plans for that. It's kind of like, I think I might do some wrought iron, like a scrolly thing, wrought iron, like you see in the old taverns hanging outside an English tavern. So we'll do that. And then I hadn't really done too much stitching once I got that done, with everything else kind of kicking in here. But I have started on a new one.
I don't know where the time has gone, where the weekends have gone.
Yeah, we've been
It just seems. What have we been doing?
trying to get this damn remodel going, but doing the drawings and design and figuring out what we want. So that takes up some time, especially with her, because she's very picky about what she picks and changes your mind from time to time.
Oh crap! The timer.
She's
Sorry,
like
guys.
like a little squirrel. Oh, let's go there. So,
Want that going off the entire there. The cinnamon rolls are done. It's just
they smell good.
they do smell good.
No goop spoons though.
No, they're not caramel rolls. They're just cinnamon rolls. Only Mom. Well, I think Melanie makes Mom's caramel rolls. Julie does not know how to do them. Speaking of the remodel, this is going to be my bathroom floor. Isn't it cool?
We're gonna have to walk very carefully. Julie will have to be here. I'll have to be over here. So it's gonna be a. Oh, you mean that's just a sample?
Just a sample.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
sample.
There'll be more.
But we still don't have a contractor. We did get a new bid on the cabinets.
Custom-made cabinets
Custom
that are
made.
cheaper than going through the
A lot cheaper.
standard cabinetry that you buy from.
But you still
Big
need a
store.
contractor.
Yep.
And we have 2 bids, but I always like to get 3. And can't seem to get the guy that had the COVID to return a phone call. So,
His whole family had it.
yes, they know. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Let's see. Anything else?
Not on that
No?
front.
Not on that front? Okay. Well, how about I show you what I have worked on. I've A lot of my stitching time lately has been on my band sampler, and I think it was Rebecca who asked if I was going to show that. And I'm thinking not. It's one that I designed, and depending on how it turns out, I may or may not release it. I don't know. It's
cool. She should do something with it because it is a nice pattern. Good colors.
It's red and black. You can't go wrong with red and black.
Right. But how you combine those together could be a problem.
Well, we'll see. But I don't think I will probably show that until I have it done, because it could change, you know. I'll be stitching along and not like how something is, and I could change it. So I don't think I'll show it until it's done. I've got the top decorative band done. I've got the first band of the verse done. I'm halfway through the second decorative band. But there's a lot more stitching in it than there was in the top band. So
How many bands are there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let me think. 1, 2, 3. It's like maybe 6 decorative bands, 5 verse bands.
Okay.
It's not a small piece. So a lot of my stitching time has been spent on that. And then I did test out the upcoming 25/7 challenge. I did test that theory, so some of my time was spent on that piece that I showed in my last, I think it was my last chart of the day video. But I've sneaked a little bit of stitching in here and there on some other things. One of them being my Anatice. I think it's Tease. I think the H is probably silent. So I worked a little bit more on her. Not a ton more, but a little bit more on her. So I got the first 3.5 letters of the alphabet, and then the little checkerboard underneath it is what I add. But this is pretty much, this motif is you know, mimicked over here. So it's not a very big, not going to be a very big sampler. This is on 40 count something. Cafe Olay, I think, is what I'm doing this on. So I did a little on that. I did a little on, and this is the one where I can't find the magazine, so I don't have the picture of it. This was part of the Out of the Stash at Last challenge. And it was the 250th Dmc Anniversary Sampler. I can't find the magazine. I probably sent it downstairs after I made my working copy.
So DMC's been around for 250 years?
This chart is 25 years old, so they've been around for 275 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there you go. I did a little bit more down here of these buildings over here, and across, finished up this one here. I think this is really going to be pretty. And the other thing, this was a new start. You guys haven't seen it at all. And apparently, oh, there it is. Excuse it. Excuse its wrinkles. But that's the Noel sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. And I went out of the box. I'm doing mine on 40 count patina from Color and Cotton. And that's what it's looking like. So that, along with my band sampler, is what I've been working on in recent weeks. And what have you been working on, dear?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
I just kind of started again back into the stitching.
This is a picture of what he's working on. It's Wintertime from New York Dreamer. And this picture really, you know, when I saw this picture, I was like, meh. And then I saw someone stitch it up, and it was really pretty. So I thought, well, I'll have Dan do that as a model. Hold on. As a model. So, but he's not been stitching a whole lot. So I was hoping it would be done by now, but it's not. But it's coming along. And it's much prettier than the picture. Are you enjoying it?
I'm sure. Yeah, I like the blue.
Blue's pretty.
Variegated blue.
And he's doing that on, I think it's 32 count vintage country mocha, using the called for threads. So.
Well, you switched them over though. You switched them to DMC.
No,
Or from DMC to
I don't think so.
some of them.
It's probably I had to do some substitutions
Yeah,
because
that's-
you can't find half the threads anymore. I just had another request for 3371, DMC 3371.
Black?
No, it's that dark brown black. Or black brown,
Remy color?
darker. And I haven't had that for months and months and months. I don't know what's up with that. I did buy a couple of things, and this is strictly Mary Lang's fault. She showed the one she was working on, and I said, ooh, that's really pretty. I need to have that. And Donna bought it too. It's from Joan Elliott. It's called the Christmas Eve Sampler. And I think it's just 2 colors. I haven't looked at it that closely. But Mary, I think, has hers done the last time I saw it, down to here. There's a lot of stitching down here. Isn't that cute, Dan?
Yeah.
But whilst I was on the website, I also happened to see this one. I don't know if Mary has it either, or 2, but I went ahead, you know, no chart travels alone, so I added the Halloween one.
Same 2 colors, probably.
Which I think is also quite cute.
Yep.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's about all the stitching news we have. Really. Do you want to show them what you've been working on in the garage? I had a couple of people in the shop who saw a shop model we had for it's a Plum Street Samplers design about friends. I can't remember the name right now. She designed it for one of it was our first retreat that was held out at Calvin Crest, which is where we have our retreats now. And she designed it for that one, and the theme was all about friendship. And at our retreats, you get, you know, the chart and the fabric and the floss, and if there's any kind of a finishing thing, you get that too. And this one, I happened to have Dan make oversized spools to mount they were stitched on like 4-inch band. And I had Dan make spools. So I will let him show you his spools since he's the one that makes them.
So I made one of these for everybody.
You did. You made one for everyone that was at retreat, which was much smaller at the time. So there was
still a lot of work.
probably only 30 of them.
These are from Hobby Lobby, just little plaques. And then I just made a smaller one and put that on there.
So you can put your orts in there or store stuff inside, and then I have a cardstock piece that I put on here of like top of it. It's an old DMC. I can't remember. I should have brought one up, but
Yeah.
I didn't. Or you can leave it plain, but this is getting really hard to find.
And you wondered if you should save those old ones.
Yeah, they are getting very hard to find. Usually they come in sets of 3 different sizes, but when you only want that size, you don't really want the other 2 sizes that go with it, so it's getting hard to find that size. But anyway, I had a couple customers come in and see that model and wanted to know if we sold the spools, and we used to have some in stock, and then they all sold out, and I just never had him make any more because Hobby Lobby quit carrying just that size. And but I said I'd see what I could do. So I did track down some spools. I think I have like 9 of them. And he's got 2 of them done. So eventually those will be for sale in the shop. And that's about all you've been working on, right?
Yep. Yeah, these round things are not the easiest things to sand. You have to, when you get stuff from Hobby Lobby, you have to sand it. You just can't, usually you just can't paint it or stain it. You have to kind of prep it. And to sand the round edges is not much fun, so it does take a while. But the worst part about it is, that I'd like to smack Hobby Lobby people, is the stickers that they put on the wood. They use like
It really pisses him off.
NASA quality adhesion that will not be affected by the vehicles re-entering the atmosphere. No, they're just terrible, and the best way to get it off is to use a hairdryer or heat gun and then pull them off. Otherwise, it does cause some problems when you're trying to stand. Here you can see I didn't do a real great job. I was thinking Julie was going to put her design on top of there, but this is what happens when you don't get all the muckety muck off of there.
At the bottom? Nope, that's the top. Well, we'll put one of those cardstock things on there and
Yeah.
it'll be just fine.
So she has got me 9 of those to work on. So that's about 12
Yeah, because he
hours,
has to actually, cut this piece out, this round piece. He has to actually cut that out and mount it on the base piece, so that it because obviously this is a lot of flat surface to glue to, but if you were just gluing this part, it wouldn't hold very well. So we had to come up with some other way of doing it, which is how we came up with making it so it opens.
The opening spool concept.
Opening spool concept,
Should
yes.
patent that probably.
Okay. Do you think it'll make us millions?
Yeah, about like every other idea we have.
Yeah. Just the buy high, sell low school, McConnell School of Real Estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see, what else can we talk about? You got anything else you want to tell them? You want to show them your shirt? Tell them where you got it?
Well, they know a little bit about the moose shenanigans, right?
Well, not everyone probably knows about the moose shenanigans. You should refresh their memory.
It dates back to 20 years ago
At least.
when,
We've been married for 40.
I
So,
know. But I started picking up weird moose items, and
tell them how it first started, though, with the ornament.
I don't remember.
You
Maybe.
don't remember how it first started?
Mm-mm.
When we painted the ornaments and you painted the moose one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I put it on your mom's tree,
You did.
and
Hung
then
that moose on my mom's tree.
right on the front so everybody could see it. And every time I'd go over there, it'd be moved back to the backside. Now, whether she really thought it was ugly or she just wanted to get back at me, I don't know. But yeah, that was
Ugly.
kind of the beginning. So the ugly moose hunt was always on, and I came up with everything from
You had a
Ooh.
moose footstool one year,
moose footstool,
a wine rack,
moose that hangs on the wall with the antlers, a little one.
a lighted one that was outside.
Yeah. moose dish for your soap. I just deploy them secretively, and she'd find them.
Yeah, he'd sneak over there,
Moose
put it someplace.
moose towels in the bathroom.
Moose towels in the bathroom.
Moose dish towels.
Mm-hmm. The uglier, the better. He found one thing. It was a moose in a canoe with a broken antler that he bought at the Goodwill store.
Well, it was supposed to be that way because the moose was using the other antler as an oar. So
But it was ugly. It was
pretty
ugly.
I have seen another one of those.
I
so-
know. I saw it on what's her name's video.
Oh, okay. And
Crazy.
she didn't buy it?
No, she did not buy it. You're the only one.
That's
It was
all right.
probably the same one because it went to Goodwill.
Could be.
Most everything that he bought for Mom went to Goodwill, except for I think she took that wine rack and I think she deployed it in her brother Bob's kitchen when his back was turned. He couldn't figure out where it came from. And she never said. She never fessed up to it. So anyway, Mom is now gone, but apparently the moose shenanigans have continued with my sister and her family.
Mm-hmm.
So, you gonna show them your shirt
Oh, my shirt.
and where
Yeah.
you got it from?
Melanie, her sister, got me the moose shirt. So I have to stand up. It's like a Christmas moose with the red socks.
Yep.
Very handsome fella.
Mom tried to get back at him one year for all these stupid moose, and she bought him a little pair of thong underwear
Jingle thongs, I call
with
them.
jingle bells on it, and he opened those up in front of everybody. Mom was thinking that would embarrass him and he would finally stop buying moose, but no, instead he slipped into the bathroom, put them on, and then went streaking through the Mom's house. You could go through the living room, through the dining area, through the kitchen, and back out into the living room again. And he did the streak of shame in those and nothing else, just those.
My socks
In
on.
front, well, he may have had his socks on. In front of everybody. Our eyeballs have never been the same. Yeah,
Scarred for life.
scarred for life.
Fixed her though, didn't it?
Well,
I don't think I got any underwear after that.
I don't know. I think she did. Didn't she give you the pair with the white boa on it too?
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
We won't say where I wore those.
So anyway, the moose shenanigans are still. I told Melanie payback is hell. So Melanie, here's your warning.
And I've got
It's coming.
I got the grandkids into it too because I bought they're kind of very invested in Edgar and Elmo, the Elf on the Shelf things. That I guess was it Edgar or Elmo that showed up in the fireplace hanging down
That's
from the
Edgar.
flue?
Elmo was okay. So this. Oh. Okay, so this is my Elmo. My mother had one, and she always called it Elmo, so I called mine Elmo. And when Mom passed away, Marcia adopted Mom's Elmo, but they already had one that they called Edgar. So now Elmo is retired because we don't have any little kids. So Edgar is the one that gets into all kinds of mischief and mayhem.
He builds Legos, and what else has he done this year? He was under the Christmas tree or something, doing something.
Wasn't he climbing a Lego wall? It was made to look like one of a rock climbing wall, only it was a Lego wall. He took all the Tupperware out of the cabinet. I don't know what else he's done, but he's done quite some mischievous things, and the girls are very invested in it. So,
And again, the search for a moose is always on in the back of my mind. And I found,
can't let it go.
I think it was at the dollar store, I found a moose on the loose basically shaped like Elmo with the long legs, and he was very cute. The bendable antlers. So I asked Emma, I said, "Hey Emma, have you heard about on the news about any moose on the loose or anything? Have you seen?" She goes, no moose on the loose. He calls it moose. No moose around here. He said, "You sure you haven't seen any show?" "No moose is here." Okay. So I had Adam deploy the moose on the loose. I don't know what I did with him. I think it was just him, and he showed up there, and the moose showed up in my bed underneath my pillow, covertly by them, and I found out that the reason he came back is that he was not magic. They said, "He's not magical." I said, "Well, he's supposed to be magical. I mean, he showed up at your house." So I took him to work, and I put him up on my shelf. I got a picture of him and Addie. So I put him up on the shelf there, and I took a picture and sent it to Marcia and said, "Show the kids that the moose on the loose showed up at work." And the next thing that we did was they really enjoyed making gingerbread houses this year. I think Addie and Emma both made one. And at Walmart, I saw a similar gingerbread house, but it was a train. It was an engine and 2 cars. So I bought that for them and took it over and put it on their porch. And the moose says that you guys have been good, so he wanted to get you this to work to play with. So they built that. I got a picture from Adam on it. So they really like doing that, putting all the gumballs and jelly beans and everything on them. So he's still over there. He may show up someplace sometime. Who knows?
He may. Maybe tomorrow.
It's a good tradition.
Yep. We have fun with it. We didn't get to do all our traditions this year. Normally the girls come over and decorate the cookie press cookies, but I just made them and made the frosting and sent a care package over there, and they got to decorate them over there. And we used to do paint and ornament, but you can't find those ceramic ornaments anymore.
No.
So we don't do that much anymore either. No. Remy needs a haircut. Can't see her poor wee little face anymore. Is that Daddy? Mm-hmm. Is that your daddy? Yeah. I don't know. I think that might be it, Dan. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really decorate or do anything.
Didn't put a tree up. We put the village up in lieu of the tree. So, no decorations around here, and I'm fine with that. I was very thrilled to put the village up, even though it's just a little portion of the village, and I miss all my other pieces. I enjoy seeing it, and I kind of like having it out there where I see it every day instead of in the basement. Because when it's all out, it takes up most of the basement. But I'm not down there very often. So it's kind of nice to have it in the library where you come in and go out, you're going to see it, or go upstairs, you're going to see it. So that's kind of nice. I appreciate you putting it up.
Well, you designed it again.
Well, you designed the lower part
Oh, yeah.
mostly. You did that. I'm a little more particular about where things go. Like, it needs to make sense to me. Like, for the longest time, our village had no people in it because those people can't fit through those doors of the buildings. They can't. They'd have to bend themselves to fit through the door. And I just couldn't wrap my head around that. And it took me a long time to get over that, where I could just, okay, fine, they're magical people and they shrink down to get into the door. But it still has to make sense to me. So, stuff that belongs out in the country needs to be out in the country and not in the village, and it needs to be like you could actually walk into it and it be real in my head.
No cars or airplanes.
No cars, no airplanes, no modern stuff.
Gas stations.
I like it to be an old village.
Turn of the century type.
Mm-hmm. So, hopefully it will be attached at the end of this video, or I'll have to do it as a separate video. But I did want to make a video and wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy...
Say it.
I can't. Ramahana Kwanzmas. How's that?
There you go. Good.
And just hope all of you are doing well and having a good holiday season. I think that's it,
Yep.
dude.
Find a moose. Put a moose in your house.
Find a moose.
Yep.
Start a new tradition.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. So take care till next time. Get some stitching done. Oh, one more word about the 25/7 challenge. I think we have like 32 members. 32 members. The last time I checked. I haven't checked for like 2 days. And I had a couple people who said they sent me an email, but I have never received one. So if you haven't been notified that you are being invited to the group, in my video where I announced the 25/7 challenge, in the drop down box there is a different email address than the shop's email address, and that's where you need to send the request to join. It starts a week from tomorrow, so January 1st. You need to pick a whip. You need to work on that whip for at least 25 stitches a day or 25 minutes a day, every day, until it's finished. The 7 part comes in, you'll take a picture for 7 days of your progress and then post your 7 days worth of progress on the Facebook group. But you have to be a member. It's a private group, so you can't just find it and join. You have to be invited and you have to be taking part in the challenge. So there is a video that's dedicated strictly to the 25/7 challenge. So check that out if you're interested. And yep, that's it. Right?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. We will talk to you next time. Take care till then.
Bye.
Bye. Well, we've lost the light because it is now 5:39 in the evening. I've tried every which way I can to attach the videos to the video we made today, and it's not working. And I can't even download the video we did of this year's village. So I'm going to... Dan has been playing Santa this afternoon, delivering gifts to people and popping up in the backyard at Adam and Marcia's house, playing on the playground for the little girls, and delivering some eggnog punch to the neighbors. And he took a package over to the new neighbors. So he's been busy. I've been baking. What I'm going to do with the videos is I'm just going to do a separate video, and it's going to be from our village from 2011. And it's more like a slideshow. So, not this year's village, which is fine. 2011, it was a much better village anyway. So, it's all good. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Bye.